When the default roles fit, use them. Don't create a custom role for the sake of customization. Every role is one more thing to maintain. Create a custom role when an existing role is almost DO, right, but a real-world responsibility doesn't fit. Like a driver role that needs to change unit status but not dispatch incidents. Or a limited dispatcher who covers nights but shouldn't delete records. New role. Name it driver. Description, short. Number who drives a unit and updates its status, no dispatch authority. Save. New role created with no permissions. We'll add them next. Permission matrix. Every permission grouped into 4 kinds. Screens decide which pages a role can open. Widgets decide what appears on their dashboard. Actions decide what they can do. And data permissions control which sensitive fields they see. They need to see the dashboard. Incident list, they need to see what's active. Incident detail, to read the full call. And unit detail, so the driver can open their own unit and change its status. View widgets, map, incidents, responders. Change unit status, the core action for a driver. Add notes. Chat to coordinate. Save. The driver role now has 10 permissions. 4 screens, 3 widgets, 3 actions. Now grant driver to a number. Loser. Lol, difference action. Scope global. No expiry. Reason driver privileges. Grant. The new grant appears in the list. Always test a custom role from the actual user's perspective. Use a dedicated test account, not a live user's login. Log out. Log in as the test user. Dashboard. Map, incidents, responders. Nothing else. Because we didn't grant the other widgets. Try settings. Forbidden. Because driver doesn't have screen.settings, try to open the new incident screen to dispatch. Denied. We never granted screen.newIncident. Now open their own unit and change its status. Works. The role has screen.unit detail and action.change unit status. Second example. Limited dispatcher, like the default dispatcher but no destructive permissions. Heads up, there is no clone role button. You build every custom role by creating it and ticking the matrix yourself. So the practical move. Open the default dispatcher role in one tab to use as your checklist, then create a new role called limited dispatcher in another. Tick the same permissions dispatcher has, reading them off your reference. Work down dispatcher's list and tick the matching boxes on limited dispatcher. Now we leave out the ones we don't want. Skip delete incident. Skip bulk import. Skip user management. And skip routing role changes. That's an admin task. One caveat, action.manage. Routing only appears in the matrix if the routing migration has run on this install. If you don't see it, there's nothing to leave off. Save. Limited dispatcher now has dispatcher's permissions, minus those 4 destructive or admin ones. Mistakes I see. Granting a screen permission without the underlying data permissions. Tick screen.roster, but not the field permissions. The user sees the page, but the rows show redacted. Confusing. Either grant both or grant neither. Building a custom org-admin variant without action.manage roles. The role can do almost everything, but they can't grant or revoke. Frustration. Granting an action without the screen that exposes it. User has action.createIncident but not screen.newIncident. They have the API privilege but no UI to use it. Almost always wrong. Surprise! Custom roles can't be granted by admins who don't hold every permission in them. So if you create a role with one esoteric permission, superadmin holds and org-admin doesn't, org-admins can't grant the role. Plan accordingly. 2 practical approaches. Model your new role on the closest default, open it as a reference and tick the matching boxes, then adjust. Or start from a blank role and tick only what you need. Almost always, model on a closest default. It's faster and less likely to miss a permission you'd want. So pick the default that needs the fewest changes. Start from a truly blank role only when no default is closed, like the driver example, which shares little with any default. Roles have an optional org. Set it, the role exists only in that org's namespace. Per org, custom roles let one org admin create roles for their org without polluting another org's catalog. 2 orgs can each have a driver role with different permissions. They don't collide. Use cases. Multi-tenant deployments. Federations of agencies sharing a TicketsCAD install. Each agency's org admin defines their own roles. Recap. New role. Then tick the matrix by hand. There's no clone. Model on the closest default. Test as a dedicated test user. Avoid the 4 common pitfalls. Up next, Module 14, Time-Bound Grants, Delegation, the Audit Log. See you there!